To understand Arcosanti's place in history, its relevance today, and its potential to impact the future, is to understand its origins. Based on Paolo Soleri's philosophy of arcology, Arcosanti was built on the provocative premise of a compact city designed not around roads and cars, but around people. Through integrated live-work spaces purposely designed into its experimental architecture, Arcosanti ventured to bring people closer to each other, closer to where they work and played, and closer to the natural environment. An ambitious premise at any time, but especially in 1970.
Well, lots of times people say it's a city, so to me, 5,000 people does not a city make. It's hardly even a village. I really think of it as an urban laboratory, a prototype alternative urban system. The main idea, and Paolo often talked about, marginalize the automobile. And essentially, that's what Arcosanti is trying to do, is to make the built environment, pedestrian, dense, three-dimensional.
Well, it's basically a modern-day Pueblo. It's not all that different, from the way people have lived. It's just using our technology to build a large three-dimensional container that has a scale that deals with the kind of population and pressures we have nowadays.
Just because we build three-dimensionally and we go up in order to save resources doesn't change the fact that you still have your own home to live in, your own space to work in, your office space, your bedroom space, all the stuff that you would normally enjoy anywhere.
I grew up in Berkeley in the 60s, so for me, I was always looking to build a new world with a bunch of friends. And this place I loved because it was not just theoretical and conceptual, it was concrete. It was being built by people for people and not by money for money. That, to me, lends this place a special energy. And also just the process of living here. This is a beautiful environment to live in. Having a self-selected, self-aware community of a lot of artistic people, creative people, was a fun challenge.
When Arcosanti began, Nixon was president, the first marathon was run in New York City, and Earth Day was founded. The Beatles broke up, the EPA was formed, and Apollo 13 announced, "Houston, we've had a problem." 100,000 people protested the Vietnam War in Washington, D.C., and at Kent State University, 4 students protesting the Cambodian invasion were killed on campus by the Ohio National Guard. The time was right for the charismatic, philosophical architect Paolo Soleri and his arcology idea to take shape in the project called Arcosanti. A back-to-the-land spirit among young people questioning everything and seeking a different way of living brought them to Arcosanti with a sense of purpose. They identified with Soleri's dismay at cities choked by traffic, pollution, and decaying infrastructure. Soleri saw that as people left dying cities and spread out, a critical connection to communities was severed. Advocating for his urban density model of building, he said, "Dispersal is antagonistic to life. Density is the only morphology that can give us a lively existence." And the response was Arcosanti.
Many people call him a visionary. He hated that. He felt he was the only realist around, so his ideas were just so compelling. It really felt like working on Arcosanti was a place where a person could take action about things they really cared about. And so for myself, coming up through the 60s, I was concerned about the environment and segregation and war and resource depletion and ticky-tacky houses all over the, growing exponentially all over the landscape. So the single arcology idea or the focusing arcology idea just spoke to all those issues so powerfully that even though I only came to visit for 2 weeks in June of '70, I just never left.
Arcosanti was built over 50 years by more than 9,000 dedicated volunteers who enrolled in a workshop and spent anywhere from 5 weeks to 50 years creating, supporting, and participating in the project. Its enduring commitment to being an experiment, social, architectural, or both, and an urban laboratory attracts a wide variety of people: architects, designers, anthropologists, scholars, and ecologists, among others, find in Arcosanti something worth studying and examining. And new residents continue to come to live and work there.
Arcosanti is a social experiment because it pushes people together. It pushes people to really talk about ideas, or at least I think it should push people to talk about ideas and bring minds together from all different backgrounds.
The most interesting term I've heard used to describe Arcosanti is caravanserai. Basically, it was a stop on the trading routes between East and West where people would hold over for a period, exchange ideas, exchange goods, and then kind of move on to their next stop. I think that's a really important part of life here, is that it acts as kind of like a stopover for people from all around the world.
So there's the connection to the place and the connection to the people that they worked with. Over the years, there's been a lot of controversy about community, not community, but to me, there was always the community that develops around the common purpose and the common work.
From its beginning, Arcosanti has always been a project, a proof of concept, an experiment. It is a testing ground for the concept of arcology, a blending of architecture and ecology. And Arcosanti's aim is perhaps more relevant today than ever before as we reshape our cities and reimagine our communities in the face of irreversible climate change, explosive population growth, and the rapid depletion of the Earth's natural resources that continue to stress the planet and negatively impact humankind.
I think it's so much easier to critique something that's trying to be different than to critique existing systems that we know aren't working out in the world. Arcosanti is a prototype for a larger idea. And I think if we're gonna make any headway towards tackling some of these really big issues that we're facing as a species, as a planet, as a nation, then we need big ideas.
But I have this feeling like the best is yet to come, in a way, of that was all setting the stage for the work that is yet to be done here.
You bring back the community so that we become more a part of each other and a part of the whole, because Paolo saw the city as a living organism. So that's why when you looked at the city and as it spread out, this was the decay of the animal that died. Bringing the cities back together, you bring life back together. Arcosanti in and of itself represents a sustaining, living thing that cities can become.
Arcosanti is like the home of my heart. It was a place that I was able to slow down and open up and connect with myself, my true nature, and it was also for me inseparable with being part of a community that was working on something bigger than ourselves. Dedication beyond compensation, and to do that willingly is an amazing experience and is very rewarding. So that was the thing for me. I mean, this place lives with me always.
Arcosanti is a gift that all of us over these years, all 8,000 plus, have given to ourselves. And so it's this special potential that we have. And after 50 years, we have to decide how we're going to deal with this gift. Are we just going to accept it, or are we going to really build on it?